What's up, everyone? Another back with more Factorio for you, episode 41. Again, I feel really great about the series because it's not 700,000 episodes. We're getting actually pretty close to being done. Well, I feel like it's close, but it's probably not that close. We have a couple more plans to go to, 2 or 3 actually. We're going to talk about this in a second. This is the completed base 4.0. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's massive. At least this feels massive to me. Put in the comments, what is a massive base? Like, am I there? Is this massive now? Is this mega base or not? Like, what is a mega base? I think it's like calculated by science per minute or something like that. I don't even know how to calculate that, so I've never done that calculation before because I never cared about it. So anyway, put in the comment section how that calculation works, or give me a link or whatever you need to do. So what did we do last episode? Well, last episode we upgraded forges, as you can see here, to foundries because these are way faster. They actually do 4 blue belts now instead of my old 4 red belts, and even then it was dicey trying to get 4 red belts all the time. This is a much faster system. It works great. We also set up a bunch of power switches to conserve power from beacons. I spam beacons, as you can see here. All my builds are spammed like this, as many beacons as possible. And so I'm using this system right here to stop the beacons from getting power when they're not in use. So I don't have to pay for them when they're not in use. We also set up a spidertron strike force on Volcanus. You can see the remnants of that are actually the increased force. We had 4 when we started. And we attacked some worms over here. We lost 4 spidertrons in the process. I actually had to build a new strike force. Went up from 4 to 6. And we set up this tungsten op, which is going to supply us mostly with artillery shells. And there's a couple other things that you build with tungsten. And then what we did is we set up a new ship for Fulgora, thinking that episode 41 we'd be going to Fulgora. We're not ready for that yet because I forgot we're not done with all the science we need to build. Right, we got a little bit more science to get out of Gleba. We're not going back to Gleba. I'm so tired of that place. It's not bad. It's just I'm tired of it. I spent some time there and I'm good. That's what we did last episode. Now, in between episodes, I have created circuit feedback to turn off some same stations. So what I mean by that is, like, you can see right here, I have duplicated the iron forge, right? We've got 2 of them because I needed more iron output and there just wasn't enough. Trains were waiting here way too long. So what I decided to do is I think it's here. Yeah, you can see I've hooked up the train to something that's counting the box here, and I think all these are linked actually. I believe they are all linked. Yeah, you can see the circuit things over here. Watch over here on the right. You can see the circuit connections. So this says when I have when all these boxes are full, that's basically what that says. When all the boxes are full, send a signal to the station to turn it on. Right now it's actually turned on, I believe. Where's normal. So what happens when it's not full is this turns off. The problem I was having is with 2 exact same forge setups and station names and everything. I had 2, the station names are the same, so that when someone wants iron, they just go to there's 2 locations, right? So if one's full, they can go to the other one, and now I have 2 places I can fill for iron iron plates, right? Or molten iron, right? The problem was they kept going to the shortest distance place. Like, let's say this was the closest one. They would go here no matter what. Unless there's a train there, then obviously they go to the other one. Well, there's not very often a train here. So they go here and sit and wait to fill up, right? And so they just sit there and wait for this thing to fill it. You know, while this guy is full, he's full of plates, he's not working, it looks just like this, and no trains are going there. It's not being used, right? So what I did is say, hey, when it's filling back up, turn the station off so that it'll force the guy to go here, right? So I actually get use out of both of those. And it was really where I noticed this was green chips. The red chip guy is closer to this top green chip guy, right? So he would leave, go in here, get chips, go back. It was a very short path, right? It's shorter than this path. And so this guy was full all the time, just constantly full and not being used. And this guy was getting all the use, and trains were just sitting there. So that's when I decided to come up with that way of having multiple stations. You can see this one has 2 that do the same thing, but I can force the trains to go to the other station that is ready, right? Now, if none of these are full, the trains don't leave, right? So, like, because there's no destination. So this guy right here, let's say he's empty, and both of those green chip factories are filling, he will not leave the station until one of them is full. Now, the only issue I'm having with that is that they have to be full, which this is a lot, right? I've got full boxes of this. So this is probably 5 to 10 trains worth of circuits. So I've got to find a better way to say, I probably will just, well, I don't want to reduce the number. I might have to do some calculations because the average box count is some number. Then you can come in and get some because there's enough for one train, or maybe I'll do 3 trains or something similar. The problem I was having with that calculation is, what if most of the chipsets are over here and it looks like the average says you should fill up a whole train? You should be able to, right? But really, there's nothing over here, and the train just sits there for days. So I thought, I'll just wait till it fills all the way up. Then I know every box has plenty of chips to feed the train. So there's some more complicated way to do this, so where that it doesn't have to fill all the way up, and I'm not basically having all this inventory doing nothing. But for now, it is what it is, and I'll fix it probably later, I guess. Another thing we did is, again, I did off camera, is I finished the base 3 to 4 conversion. If you recall down here, there was tons of other stuff I needed to do. All the storage stuff was still here. I'd taken out the forges. All the oil stuff was here. I took all that out, moved it over to here. You can see I have massive oil stuff going on now, massive refineries. That's working out really well. And I also took out some other builds like the uranium bullets or whatever they're called, magazines. What are these things called? Uranium rounds magazine. Okay, I built that. I rebuilt the explosives. I built a nice artillery build because I'm going to put artillery on the new defensive line. So what I'm going to do pretty soon is take the spidertron army. I have a spidertron army here. It's 20 spidertrons, all set up to go, all with equipment. Everything's all good. And I'm going to walk it down and start taking out, I'm going to take more land. So I'm going to take this whole thing and cut it off right here. Maybe expand this out to other new choke points, right? That's a good choke point. I don't know. There are other good choke points. That's a better choke point, so there won't be much movement, but it's better because it's a smaller space. And so when I do that and I reset those boundaries, I'm going to be using artillery, right? In the new, let's call it Defense 2.0, right? Build. And then I'll also be putting in uranium rounds instead of piercing. That'll help, 1, use up spent uranium, but 2, it'll help keep biters at bay a little bit easier, and I won't have so many bots dying and stuff like that. So that's kind of what's coming. I also add solid fuel to the refueler. So what I did over here is almost always I have this light oil buildup, right? This thing is almost always full, and so nothing else can work. This guy won't work because heavy we need heavy, we need petroleum, right? Gas, but light is full, so it won't do anything. It just backs up into these refineries and everything stops. So what I have done, and I think most people do this, is I'm sinking my light into fuel, solid fuel, right? That's what I'm doing over here. You can see I'm putting all the light into solid fuel. And then I run a circuit to say, hey, when the conditions are right, send stuff to light fuel or to solid fuel. But then I thought, well, how do I burn that? But then sometimes if I don't have any light fuel, I want to burn that in trains. I want to burn solid fuel in trains. But if I don't have enough solid fuel because we're actually using the light for whatever other reasons, there are other reasons. Maybe we're cracking it to petroleum gas, whatever we're doing, right? I won't have solid fuel, and so my trains will run out of fuel. So what I did instead over here at the refueler, which is right here, is I'm bringing in solid fuel now and rocket fuel, okay? And I'm mixing them together so that the picker over here has both, right? If both are available, it has solid and it has rocket fuel, right? And then you can see every train kind of has access to both. You can see how I kind of set it up. But then what I did is I said, hey, this guy for rocket fuel is not going to operate unless this guy is empty, right? If his empty, then go for it. Same thing all the way over here. Now, that works most of the time, I'd say, because what if this guy is full and you do have rocket fuel, solid fuel, I mean. But it handles most cases. I'm probably not going to see any issues. If I do see an issue, I'll link all the solid fuel boxes together and say only operate when all of them are 0. So that set us up to mostly use solid fuel. You can see there's other kinds of fuel in here. Actually, this guy's broken. So let's take out all this coal. Let's just take all of this out, actually. He's got the wrong fuel in there. Let's make sure see, and I changed the interrupt to say, hey, it's both now, right? So it's fine. It's still the same. It's still the same station. It's just, actually, we don't want a train limit because we want them to stack up, right? So they'll take that fuel out and put the new fuel in. There will be a couple of trains that are going to have that problem where It says it thinks it's out of fuel. Because what I did for the stop is I changed it to say if both of these are less than 20, right? And so that was true for that case because it was all coal. That was an old train that had mostly coal while we were using coal to refuel. It was probably a storage train because down in the storage area I was using coal still to fuel the trains. It's a really old build, right? So I changed that as well. And that's pretty nice setup, I think, right there. It took a little bit of time to figure out. I don't know why it took time to figure this out, but how to get, both items on the belt, so I only have to use one set of belts, right? And I can use the same inserters pretty much. Okay, so what we need to do now is move Bioflux to Novice because we got to capture some biters, some biter spawners, because the next thing we need is biter eggs to get the where is it? To get the bio lab. I want to get that next. Here it is. That's a really huge increase to science. It's like basically a 4 times increase. And so we need to get that next. We just need to finish up the Gleba science is what we're doing here. So I need to capture a biter base, which unlocks basically all this other science I want to get, like the biolab, the overgrowth soil, which means I can plant that soil anywhere on Gleba and really make our trees efficient, and then get the final productivity module 3. So after that, Gleba is done. So we're going to do that today. Sorry this is taking so long just to talk about. What we're going to want to do, though, first off, is go to Gleba, and we want to increase the bioflux. We're going to need a lot of this. So we're going to put this up to 1,200 because we need 1,000 per rocket, right? And that it won't take less than 1,000 up to the ship. So we've done that. That'll start building up really nicely. You can see it's already growing really fast, so that's great. And then we're going to go to Gleba and say, hey, in addition to all this other stuff, we want you to pick up 1,000 of this, right? Yeah, pick it up on Gleba and deliver it. And I think there's also still an issue with these guys on Volcanus. Pretty sure. Not really sure why you got 40 drills here. We really only need 20. Yeah, okay, so if you go to Volcanus ship, we don't have drills on Novice, and I'm trying to figure out why. Yeah, pick up 40. Okay, great. And then you're going to only pick up 20 when you go to when you go back to Novice. This is really for, remember, all ships that go to Novice need this set of inventory. So I need to bring 40 from Volcanus so that I drop 20 to the planet every time I come here if it's needed. And it's definitely needed. Anyway, so I think that's solved now. Move Bioflux. We're going to... Oh, no. I didn't do it in here. Let's put 1,000 Bioflux right here. Right, we want 1,000. Then we got to set up... No, that's a 0, not a number. Okay, then we got to set it up over here as well. Right, we need one of these guys, which I already know because I've kind of messed with this before. And then we're going to say, hey, we want 1,000 Bioflux. Well, here's the thing. I really want 100. Because I don't want to fill this box with like 1,000 Bioflux. That's stupid. But if I say 100, it'll just keep moving 100. It'll be like really slow. Yeah, let's just put 100. That's fine with me. Totally fine. Trash unrequested. That'll get rid of, like, if it spoils, right? We want to do that. We want to trash unrequested. And then we don't want to request from buffer chest. What we're going to do here is say, this is 1,000, right? Trash unrequested. So again, if it spoils, it'll kick it out. So there we go. Now we have a buffer chest that will fill up with Bioflux. Then what we need to do is capture some biter bases. Now, I was already going to go and destroy all this stuff, so it makes sense to capture probably these guys right here and the spidertron armies right there. But it also could just be this, because I could totally move this down here. That's a really simple expansion. And I could just literally capture... There's like 2 of them right there. That'd be perfect. I could capture those 2 things. It'll still kill all the worms and everything, and we just have like a larger base down here. I could wipe this base out, capture these 2 and have eggs, and then just move, like, build a new wall right there. Yeah, let's do that, actually. That's a much easier way to do this. So what we got to do is Spidertron Army. They've got nice amounts of legs. Again, I need to work on quality. I've got it written down. I just don't know when I'm going to do it. I need the 3rd quality module first, because I feel like it's kind of pointless to set something up unless you have the best quality module. I'm just going to do that. Check it out. Because they just walk right over stuff. The only thing I'm worried about is trains. Luckily, not a lot of trains moving around down here. Oh, also, I did leave the original crash ship. I said I was not going to ever take that out. It's still here. That's kind of cool. And I put basically the company logo here to show that this is like main base, right? This is where I landed. It's kind of neat. All right, they're almost there. Now, you got to be a little bit careful because these do die. When I was doing this, like testing them out, I did lose some spidertrons because I did not slow down. It's really hard to see how much damage they're taking. I wish you could, when you selected it, you had like a little grid right here that showed you their health and stuff, because I just don't, I have no clue what their health is, right? So before we do that, though, first we're going to need to build the spidertron rocket capture shells, basically. And so I wanted to do that over here, right? We can do it right here, actually, because I've already started building some, like you can see the flamethrower right here. So I think we're going to do it right here. So I'm just going to copy paste like we always do. We're going to do that. And then, I don't know, we'll do that, I guess. Now, these don't come out very fast, so I'd rather use, you know, just like a regular inserter here, because it just consumes more power. It's more efficient to not, to only use what you need, right? Let's put a guy here. That's actually perfect. Actually, let's do, well, it already did it. Let's move this. Why don't we do this? Because, well, I don't know why that guy's right there. He's not very efficient right there. That's better, probably. Looks nicer, at least. And then maybe we can do this a couple more times to get some better overlap. Where does this guy overlap? Right there. So we want one like right here. There we go. Okay, so first, so we're going to want these shells. Capture bot rockets. Okay, these are rockets. But they don't look like rockets. So I thought they were like a rocket launcher. So we're going to want those guys. Right? And then we're going to want to copy paste. And then we would tell this, no, just like 100 is good here. You don't need that many. There we go. And then it'll start filling up. And this should just be 1. We don't need that many of these shells. This guy's making too many of these. No wonder he's going crazy. Wow, this guy really went nuts. We only need like maybe that many lights. Jesus, I should check that. All right, so we're good. This guy should stop pretty soon, please, because you have way too many of these flamethrowers. You don't need that many. And we'll slowly get the bioflux in here. And when we get the bioflux, and it should be, yeah, it's already landed. This stuff lasts a decent amount of time. Spoil time 2 hours, so we should have plenty for what we want to do. And once you create the shells, like, you don't need the bioflux anymore. They don't what's it called? They don't spoil or anything. So you just need like a stack of those guys. So then what we're going to need to do is load up one of these spidertron dudes with those guys. First, let's move these back. Here's how I learned how to do this. Because you don't want the other guys to come in guns blazing, right? Let's select one guy. You're going to be the capture bot guy. So what we're going to do is move all of this guy's rock. No. Nope. This is where I'll just do it myself, I guess. All right, so what we're going to do with this guy is we're just going to move his rockets to his inventory. That way they won't try to give him any more. We don't have to change anything. It'll be fine. This is good, though. I don't know. 400. Why are you saying you don't have enough? Let's just make it 40. They don't. Okay, he doesn't have. Okay, well, we might have to kill that. Let's kill it for now. But we'll leave him on him. So then we'll copy paste back when we capture a couple things. So we only need a few capture things here. So he's all set up. We're just going to put capture bots on him. Actually, let's request those. Let's request, I don't know, 10 would probably be fine. We don't need that many. Yeah, 10. So that he'll get those captures rockets once they're available. Now let's go check to see what's going on with, oh, Gleba. Okay, the ship's coming back. Again, I'm pretty sure this ship can do Fulgora because look at the military piece of it. It's not draining very much. Usually, you know you're at your limit when your rounds are basically dead. Another thing we'll probably try to do soon is make these ships do piercing rounds. That'll help a lot, I think, so, with the larger asteroids. All right, we're here. We launched our stuff. Let's go to Novice and watch it come in, right? And it'll start to distribute. It's going to take a long time to distribute because the bots have to move this stuff all over the place. So there we go. The bots will get into action here, and they're going to move that stuff over to here first. Where's the... Yeah, all the way over to right here. This is kind of the center if you look at it. That's why I built the mall here, the mart, because it's kind of in the center of the base. But pretty soon we're going to need a new mart probably. I'm running out of space to build things. We'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get lucky. So we should see them come over to here, right? Yeah, it's requesting only 100. Let's say 1,000 for now because you're going to... we're going to want a bunch. So let's just say 1,000 because I want to make sure it brings all of them now instead of waiting. Yeah, there we go. A whole bunch of bots just took off. We should have a couple of these popping out. Yeah, we've made a few at least at this point. Wow, it takes a lot. 20 bioflux. Okay. We only need 2. Really, we only need 2 capture bot rockets. But we'll get 10. It's fine. The other thing I found with the capture bot rockets, the problem, is that once you capture a base, then the spidertrons will not shoot any other bases in that area. And I think it's, to not damage your captured bases. So you have to get in a spidertron manually and shoot the other bases if you don't want biters to keep popping out. So that's a little bit of an issue. It's not a huge problem. It's just remote makes it kind of difficult. So they should be bringing those now. We should see a couple bots moving down. Yeah, here they are. Here's our first. So the reason I have this guy up front is because what you want to do, now there are only 2 bases here, so it's perfect because I really only need to capture like 2 bases. But let's say there were 20 bases, right? And you're like, hey, I want to capture like 4. I don't need to capture all 20. So I want the spidertrons to shoot the other ones. Well, what happens is these guys start going nuts before they're captured and just shoot all the bases. So all the bases die, and this guy didn't get to capture anybody. So I run this guy out in front, so he shoots his capture rockets first, then the other guys come in, right? So it works kind of well. Another thing to note that these guys will do, I know they don't shoot bases once you start capturing, but they will shoot biters. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not like you're going to lose all your bots because they're not shooting anything, your spidertrons. All right, that's good enough, let's say. Let's do this and get our whole army here. We're going after this base over here. We probably could swing through there, I guess. That's probably best. Let's go. Oh, can't because this guy's out front. So let's just take on these 2 bases right here. You can see, boom, boom. We got capture bots going off. Cool, they killed everything. They're capturing. It does take time for them to capture. Now we can just stand here. Now, the one thing you want to do too, and let's get this on me. Actually, I can just do this from here. You only have a certain amount of time to actually feed these things. They feed off the bioflux. So what I want to do here is capture or copy this. That's a good setup right there. And I'm going to move like into position with the logistics network here so that I can, I don't really need that many, but it's okay. I need the power. Let's go down to here. And then I can just delete every other one, which we need another one of these guys. It's not, that should work. Okay, let's do that. So what we don't need is that one. Well, these 2 are fine. See, so it's got no food, basically, and they start dying. You can see they're dying pretty quickly. So actually what I will do is request some of these for myself. Some bioflux. 100 is fine. Because, and I'll go get that, actually. Because these things will die. And then what we'll do is set up something that will auto-feed these things. But first, I want to get some food in there so they don't die. They just revert. What they'll do is revert to other old bases, and you can recapture them. But it's more of a pain than I'm really willing to put up with. So let's just let those guys give it to me real quick. No, just give it to me. Come on. There we go. That's good enough. That should work. Yeah, that's good. Then let's get down here and feed these things, and then I'll set up the rest of it. They're already going to set that extension up for the logistics network. So that's good. I don't have to worry about that. But I do need to feed these things before they revert. All I have to do is put food in these things. I need to clean this thing up over here too, you can tell. So yeah, they're like half dead, right? So they're going to eat kind of a lot of food in the beginning. This guy's actually moved more dead. But then they'll slowly heal up now over time. And they're going to start creating eggs, spider eggs, okay? Now, I wish you could pick these things up, but in the beginning you can't. Well, because I can't create these myself. There is a technology where I can create these, so they'll be in my inventory then. Then I can put them in my base wherever I want. I'll set up like an egg factory or something. It'll be a lot more manageable. Right now, it's not very manageable, and they're going to eat this food very fast because they're healing, I think. So anyway, we're good there now. These guys will be fine. Now what I want to set up is, and actually let's go into this mode right here, remote mode. It's just easier to build. You get used to remote mode, and then it's hard to build in the other mode. Let's just set up this with, I don't know, the fast is probably pretty good. Really only need a regular. Let's just do a regular. We're going to request 100 flux in here at all times. And then we'll also say trash unrequested. We could put 10 here, but 100 is good. Now I'm just going to copy and paste down to here. And then we should probably set up one of these guys to power everybody. What we're going to do, go to remote viewing mode, and just let's take this out. Let's just go in here real quick. 20 spidertrons makes this really fast work. And I don't think we lost anybody. Let's Do that, I guess. And then I need to get down here pretty quickly. And yeah, I still have 20. Good. I need to get down here pretty quickly and kind of stop up the gap there. So what I'll do is, let's just take the flamethrower down there. Actually, let's put the bots here in case we get any attacks. And I'm going to go in there with the flamethrower. All right. No. There we go. Okay. Let's switch the flamethrower. So you can capture those by hand. I don't know why you would want to, but you can. If you just put a rocket launcher on your person, you can capture those by hand. I think that's kind of dumb. Like, it's really dangerous. Why don't you just use the bots? I guess the spidertrons. And I'm dying. That's great. Just lay down something and get out of there, man. So I gotta burn this all down so that I can, so that it's much easier to build in there. That's kind of close. Do I want to kill that? I can kill off a few of those, I guess. Let's take the spidertrons in there and see what damage we can do here. Let's just do a little bit more damage because I want to push this back a tiny bit here. That's really close. There we go. Let's just push it back that far. That's good. And still have 20. Good. Again, I don't care if they take damage, obviously. I don't care if they need more rockets. Consumables are fine. Yep. Okay. You want some more? All right. We can help you. Another guy? Okay. Like, we can do this all day long. All right, cool. And this is burning out really nicely. All right, I think that will cover this enough to put a defense down here. We can just leave the bots down here for now because they'll be fine. In fact, let's move them into this space right here. And then they'll just basically create a nice little choke point there. So are these guys all set up now? Yeah. And now we have eggs. And it goes up to 100 and just sits there. It never stops because that's what's really consuming the food. So you have to keep feeding them. If you don't take the eggs out of the spawner, the spawner, they won't spoil. So just don't take them out until you need them. The one thing we do need to do, though, is now that we have the egg thing, which I believe it's down here, should be all the way at the bottom here. Eggs, right? Now we have the other techs that we want to do. So let's do this tech first. We'll move this, right? Actually, we'll just turn that off. It's fine. Then we're going to do overgrowth. Then we'll do, I guess, productivity module 3. That in that order, because we need biolab. That's the thing we need to be working on right this second. Okay, so when I get biolab, I'll be back, and I'm also going to set up all this defense and stuff. When I do that, I'll be back. Here's the progress we've got on this defensive update here. You can see it's pretty much set up. Oh, we just got power. Nice. All the stop is in. This has all the stuff it needs. I think it just needs straight pipe, but I filled that in by hand so that we can get the flamethrowers online. So again, this is defense print 1. It'll work for now. I just wanted to close this little gap right here, this little peninsula or whatever you might call it. It's not a peninsula, it's like a strait or something. So I wanted to close that off so we don't get attacks on our egg producers here. And this is going to produce, I think, plenty of eggs for us. It's also part now of the logistics network, so we can request them up here. I will be taking this old one out later when I get defense print number 2. So no worries there. And we've got biolab in the meantime. So why don't we start creating some biolabs in the mart up here? I'm going to create them. I want to say right here is probably decent. First, we're going to need, if we look at biolab, we're going to need regular lab. We don't have that yet. We do have everything else we have. So let's start creating regular lab. I'll just create it here, I guess. And then we'll say, request what you need. Obviously, that's way too much. I don't know why it does that. It just likes to do that to me because then it screws everything up. And boy, does it love to screw everything up. Let's trash unrequested. Let's also request from buffer chest. Okay, so now we can make regular lab. I mean, biolab. We have regular lab, right? Let's do the same thing. Again, I'm a little bit concerned, a little bit worried. We don't need that many eggs. Let's do 100. Again, we don't need... This is just lots and lots of stuff. Even this, probably 10 would be fine. I don't think we need more than that. Let's get 10 of these guys. Again, this is kind of expensive stuff. Maybe 20 of these, right? And then we will request from buffer chest. Let's trash unrequested as well. Okay, so we're all set up. Now let's, okay, 1 stack. That's good. That's all we need. We got 1 stack over here too, right? And for some reason, we have artillery turrets in here. Probably because I was making that. Let's get rid of those. I was probably making that on the last one. And really, we just want that. Well, it is what it is. Okay, cool. right, so we've got biolabs. All we need is the eggs. It's going to bring the eggs from all the way down, way down here. It's going to take forever to get for them to get back and forth. I'm wondering if there are possibly bot upgrades I could get. I think these guys have eggs, right? No, they have chips. So bot upgrades I can get because these bots are too slow now for my network. But they should be. Oh no, wait. There's nothing exporting these guys. I gotta work on how to do that because I only want to export. So let's do the export right now. I only really want to export like maybe 10 at a time. The problem is I'm asking for 100. So why don't we export 50 each at a time? Right? We're going to do 50 each. And I don't know. Let's just use the fast guy. It doesn't really matter to me. Let's just do 50. So let's say when the box has less than 50, we'll say eggs. Man, the eggs. Where are they? Eggs are down here, probably. Oh, man. It's getting pretty thick in here. Let's just do egg. There we go. Boom. Okay. So we'll do when it's less than 50. That way we'll have 100, and they can just pick up 100 of those guys. And then we're going to have to obviously connect this too. There we go. And then, just in case, we'll make sure that there's never more than 100. So with the amount of eggs we bring it up, we can get 10 of these things. We're going to need a lot more than 10. I'll probably make a lot of them off camera. Really what I'm going to do is start setting them up. I'll get one of them set up, like do the build how we want it. I'm going to use the current build we have because it will do all types of science eventually, right, when we get them in. It's already set up to do that. I just think the biolabs are slightly larger than the other labs. And if that's the case, then I'm going to have to just expand our belt system and really open that build up. I'm not going to put more of these guys because there's just no point. I don't think that's very necessary. I just need the same amount is fine. Plus, they're much more efficient, right? So I should be able to expand this. I might have to cut off part of it to expand it side to side. Let's get a biolab in here and see how big it is. And then we can see what we're working with here. There he is. Yeah, he's definitely bigger. Instead of 3, he's 5. So what we'll do is I'll just put a dude down. We're gonna want productivity mods in these, right? You're gonna have a lot more mods too. That's good. When we get 3, we're gonna have to go through our whole base and upgrade all the modules. That's gonna be a lot of fun. AKA it's not. All right, so then I just want to copy this system we have here, right? If you look at this guy, it's really this whole thing right here. This is like a setup for 2. Well, really, we just need 1, right? That's 1 setup. And instead of, so what we'll do is, obviously, I don't want you to build that. We'll just cut this and move it to here. And then we'll do the same thing over here. We'll just move this over to here. I think that'll do it. If not, I'll fix it in a second. Okay, we've got our build here, and let me just make sure that that is correct, because I feel like we're missing... Well, we need to copy the other side, which is this, right? And instead of putting it there, we got to put it... I want to say there. Well, one way to do this is just literally copy this guy. There we go. Yeah, that's correct. Then we got to copy this side, right? Which is this guy. Right, should be that. And then we got to make sure that these guys are connected. So we'll do that. Oops, nope, I want this connected. There we go. That should be everything. The problem will be, bet you this doesn't cover everything. It doesn't. So I'd rather not use these because these are really an old school way of doing it. Why don't we use these substation guys? That covers everybody. There we go. There we go. We'll just use... No, I pasted it. It was just a stupid update. Okay, there we go. We don't need one every... We might need one every block. So that means what we need to do is spread this apart too. Right? Because it's going to be wider. So I think what I'm going to do first... And man, we got research going on right now. I hate to kill this. It's going to end up all over the damn place. Man, it is what it is. So we also want to... We're going to bring these up farther because we need to expand this direction, correct? This is going to be nasty. Okay, let's just cut this. Oh, we need these too. Let's make sure we save this. This is the end. We only really need one of these, so we'll just save this for the end cap here. There we go. So when this is ending, how does it end though? Oh, the last guy dumps into there. Okay, so really the end cap is this whole thing. That's the end cap on the one side there. The other one just ends normally. Okay, pretty much got what we need. Let's cut this now. Let's just say, look, I need you to delete this whole thing. We'll just say down to there for now. Hold on, let me see what I need to cut from here. Yeah, I should be able to cut all the way to there. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. Okay, this is close enough to get started. So what we're going to do here is just copy this guy. I'll leave him in case I screw something up, like just did. So let's copy this. This is going to go right in the center, right? So, but we want it to start, I think, right there. Right? We want it to start right here in the middle. And I believe that was there. Yeah, that looks correct. No, yeah, because it moves over slightly. Because, yeah, no, it would be like that. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Let's just paste that down. And then what we're going to do is we'll paste the side, right? So it's going to paste like that. And we really only need 3 of these for now. I can expand to 5, I guess, eventually, but 3 should be fine for now. Let's reconnect all this stuff before I start pasting a bunch of junk in here. Then we can get rid of this, right? Because we don't need it now. So let's look at, where does this line up? Oh, man, that's going to have to probably move over, because this whole, I don't want to move this whole thing. So let's cut this and line it better up with this, right? So that's actually where we're going to do it. And then if we want an extra one, we can do it, but we really can't. We'd have to move this whole thing to squish it back. Well, for you, it's this way. To squish it back that way, we have to move all those boxes and everything. I'm not doing that. All right, so this can just go right up in here, right? We'll just do that. There we go. Eventually, we're going to need an underground. We'll just do it like that. It's fine. Okay, so what do we do here? Now we got, this is the start, right? Let's kill this. We don't need it. So red cuts over right here, and 1, 2, 3, right? Let's put that in because we don't have it yet. Boom, okay. Now we just have to extend this up, but we need to move it over. So we're gonna have to, we can cut right there and extend this whole thing out some. We need to extend it out to right there. And then we just extend these. There, that should extend it to where we need it. Okay, finally it's shaping up to show me kind of what I've got going here. So moving this over worked perfectly for this because it doesn't really matter. This didn't move, right? So all we have to do is extend this out. Let's copy this, I guess. It just makes it easy. We want it to do this. And then here we're going to want, well, we got to have this, right? Those two have to have the undergrounds. Cool. Okay. Now we got to move this thing again because the whole thing has to move over. So we're going to cut it there just like we did with the previous one. So we're going to use the cut the whole thing, move it over to here. It looks right. Cool. And then put these in. And then we're just going to do it again because I know I'm going to have to cut this whole thing as well. So let's just cut it over to here. That's it. All right, let's copy this. We're going to need that, right? And then this, we just need that. So I can just say, I don't need this. So everything should be set up now. Once this all fills in, I can turn it on, right? I can basically hook all these up. So it looks like we're having a problem connecting. So why don't we do this? There we go. Maybe put a light here so we don't run into it. And then we should be good with connection. Okay. Then we can paste in however many we need. We're losing a lot of space here. I'm not super concerned, though. I think 3 of these will be fine. It's just they're a lot larger, so we might want more. For now, I'm just going to sit on it. I think this many is plenty. I don't see us needing more of these. I'm glad that the underground still work. So let's paste all these in. They should fit all the way down, and then we'll put the caps right there. Right, we'll put these caps in. So let's copy the cap. The cap goes right. Well, it doesn't fit. Why doesn't this cap fit? Because we changed it? Wait. Oh, right there. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Okay. Same here. Boom. We got the cap. Nice. Okay, that'll get rid of all our spoilage and everything. Great. All right. Everything's kind of coming in. The hell is this? Oh, it's green? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What does it share with? Nothing. Okay, that's why it only has one. All right, let's start hooking everything up because we're just having some spoilage going on now. Looks like red and green are already hooked up, these other ones, right? So we might as well just get these going. Why does... Oh, that's the first two. Okay. Is some of this not connect? Yeah, that's not connecting. It's too far. And boom, we got the last one. Okay, everything should be working now. The green, which is not coming in yet, will be splitting all the way down. We've got everything else. That's good. Or the agricultural, I guess, since there already is green. So, yeah, we should see... There we go. Everybody's getting at least the regular stuff, right? We should see... Yeah, right there. Okay, this looks good. All we need to see is green come in, and it should be working just fine. We can actually get rid of this now. Cool. Let me look down here. Let me see. What are we doing with... let's look at Gleba. Not enough to fill one rocket. What's going on with these guys? Everything's stopped up too. Look, it's not growing. Why? Why is it not growing? Something wrong here? Nobody's moving. Everyone's out of nutrients. Oh my god, serious? Why aren't you putting stuff in there? Where are the nutrients? Comes from this, right? Why are there no trees? Where are the seeds? Are all the seeds getting eaten? Is it because over here? Why are there no seeds, dude? Seeds, 10. We ran out? How? How did we run out of seeds? How is this possible? Well, I'm going to have to fix this. I'm not sure we have time on camera to do it. The seeds should be collecting into here, right? We should always have extra seeds. They're all gone as well. So, well, I hope with this we get more seeds. A lot more. Why would we run out of these seeds? There's no reason for that. We have a backup, 40 seeds here, right? 40. Let's make this 80, I guess. But I don't know if it shouldn't make any difference. 80 seeds seems like a lot. We'll do the same for this too. We'll make this 80 as well. And then we'll just see how it works. Not sure what happened there. One of the things we need too, what else do we need? Let's see, if we're getting seeds and their seeds are going in the ground. The problem is we have no nutrients to do this, right? We ran out of nutrients to do this even. It's got stuff in there. What about spoilage? How come this isn't using spoilage? Fine, we'll say it's got spoilage. Why aren't you converting, man? Anyway, I'll figure that out off camera. We did a lot of stuff today. We set up biolabs. Let's go check them out. The biolabs are working now. The problem is we just don't have agricultural science because we have to fix this issue. Where are the labs? The labs are over here. Okay, cool. So there they are. They're all ready to rock and everything. We did everything. Now, next episode, we can fly to Fulgora because we'll have all the Gleba science will be done, ready to go to a new planet. It's going to be pretty cool. I've already started looking it up. It looks really interesting. So I'll see you on the next one. Stay frosty.